Sashimi. 3, 2, 1.
Hello guys, welcome to my game of the year. Well, not my game of the year, my games of the year list. Pretty much these are the games that I've really enjoyed this year. They're not necessarily going to be like the video game awards. We got all the top, AAA titles. Some of them I haven't played. So this is basically just the games that I've played this year and the stuff that I've really enjoyed this year. So we're going to start this off with Razion Blasters, which came out in January this year. It's a really fantastic shoot 'em up. That's very much like the Star Soldier games. That's what it's based on, basically. And it did eventually get a conversion to the Switch. And the Switch version has had an upgrade in the graphics. I'm playing the Steam version at the moment. In the options as well on this, you got the original music, you got 8-bit versions of the tunes, which are rather nice. So we're just going to play the original music for now. Right then, so let's kick this off. I really do like this game. I've played it a lot. It's very, very good. The Switch version has had a little. They've tweaked the gameplay a little bit, but certain things on bosses don't quite work on this version. On the Switch version as they did in this version. So they've he didn't upgrade the PC one, but he's definitely had an upgrade on the Switch version. You get two versions. You get the arcade mode, you get various difficulty levels, and you get a caravan mode, which is basically a scoring mode, which lasts 3 minutes, like the Star Soldier games, essentially. They all lasted 2 minutes. It doesn't doesn't matter what character you choose at the beginning. Right then, so basically you've got your normal front firing and you've got a spread firing. So basically you can use them at the same time, but your front firing goes down. So it's best just to choose which ones you want half the time. You can chain all the enemies for points, and if you keep the chain going, obviously the more points you get. And then when you kill the enemies, they release those little green sort of like diamonds, and you keep collecting the diamonds. There's various weapons in this game. We've just seen the homing. This is the laser. This is the spinning weapon, which basically gets rid of bullets. And this is like the fire, which is like a bomb weapon. Homing is probably the best weapon on this game, I would say. And there's a spread weapon, which I'll pick it up, which does this, which is the wave weapon. I say homing is probably the best. And the bosses in this as well, you do get points for killing them quicker, so they are timed. So not only you've got the chains, you've got timing the bosses as well. To score high in this game, you need to chain as much as possible, which is pretty much obvious, and you need to kill everything on screen as well. You sometimes get bonuses for groups of enemies as well. So if you are playing this for score, you need high speed basically to be able to get in a position to kill a lot of the enemies that come on screen. The risk and reward type thing, get in there, get in their face, and try and kill them. But yeah, this game plays fantastic. It's really good fun. I think it's got pretty excellent soundtrack as well. And the 8-bit version of the soundtrack is very, very good. And with the chain in that, it keeps you coming back for more. Plus, it's got an online leaderboard, which is rather nice. So I think this is about a tenner on Steam, which is well worth it. I think it's about 15 quid on the Switch. The Switch version, like I said, I think the Switch version may be a tad slower, but it does have much better graphics. They definitely improved it. That's it through there. The game speeds up and slows down all the time, and that does, it does that quite a lot through the levels. If I remember rightly, there's 8 levels to play as you go through, and there's a big, huge boss at the end, as you would normally get in shmups. This fire weapon is very handy because it takes out bullets. Plus, the explosion can get in the face on these. Like, you get a bonus if you manage to kill all them on screen as well. My chain is gone. This weapon's powerful as well, but it doesn't fire very fast. I think the Primus homing is the best weapon on this game. See, the bosses are quite good. They take quite different tactics as well to beat them. And generally trying to get as close as possible to them and beating them as fast as possible definitely gives you more score at the end. Plus it's very hard to get all them as well. Here we go. First boss. You don't want to get too close to him because the things he fire out, you won't be able to kill him in time. And you'll end up getting hit. So you just want to get a nice position away from him. Try and take him out as fast as possible. He's almost dead. You can, if you're lucky, take him out on that second, when he opens up the second time. It's quite tricky to do. So that's stage 1. That's my highest score at the moment up there. I was in the top 10, but I think I dropped down to about 20th or something now. It's got a nice, good set of levels as well. There's one level's like a R-type giant boss ship, and obviously lots of little space levels and stuff and cool bosses. Very, very good game indeed. So we'll play a little bit more, and then we'll stop. I just found this game really addictive. I kept coming back to it all the time. It's very, very good. I don't regret buying it. It's amazing these days how many good shmups are actually on Steam. There's loads of indie shmups, but there's some you know, gems in between all that. Like, get the home in. I like the home in. This is a bit of a Star Soldier thing. You get the special bonus for killing all 4 of them. The caravan mode does a lot of things like that. So to score high in air, you need to collect all the tiles. You need to do the you know, the explosions like that, killing things at the same time. Just like the caravan games on the PC Engine. Here we go, second boss. This weapon's handy because you can sometimes time it. The laser can be handy because it's a piercing shot, so it can go through bosses, but it doesn't kill bosses very fast. So anyway, that's Razion Blasters, guys. The other thing I will say, the guy has a new game coming out in January, funny enough, called what's it called? The Moon Dancer, which is very similar graphic style to this, but it uses different types of missiles and stuff, and you've got to do lock-ons and things. I played the beta of it, and I really enjoyed it. And there's a free demo of it out on Steam at the moment, and it's going to be released in January. So I gotta be honest, I'm going to be buying that. And going by his Twitter post, he did post, I think it was today, he posted a little video of a top-down run-and-gun game. So basically an over-top of the guy running around shooting. So I think that's what he might be doing for his next game after Moon Dancer, so that should be interesting. Anyway guys, so we'll leave it there and we'll go on to the next game in the list. Hello guys, right then, here we got Kraut Buster on the Neo Geo. A really good fun game, made by NG Dev Team that came out last year, so technically it's not this year's release, but a lot of people didn't get the cartridges till this year, so I'm putting it in the list. This is not mine. I've basically been lucky enough to borrow a cartridge. But yeah, this is pretty much like Metal Slug. 3 different characters, very Metal Slug-esque, got some new features and stuff. Some people might say you're being a little bit racist saying Kraut Buster, but at the end of the day, it was made by 2 German fellas. So if the Germans want to call it that, that's fair enough. You're in Krautland in 1936. You're obviously there fighting Germans. So, in this game, it actually uses all 4 buttons. You got your fire, you got your jump, and if you pull down diagonal, do a slide. You got grenades, and you got the D button. The D button changes weapons. You can hold more than 1 weapon, like Contra. Basically, you can hold 2 weapons. I think it's only 2 you can hold, and if you push a direction, hold down D, you can lock your fire in like Contra. There's 2 different modes in this game, the C mode and a tactical combat. I'm not entirely sure what the C mode is, I need to play it. So here's your 3 characters. We'll go the main guy. Right then, see, there's various levels to this game, but I haven't managed to do a 1cc yet, so I need a bit more practice to do it, because I'll probably end up just continuing through it at some point. But yeah, there seems to be multiple ways to go through this game, so that's a nice little feature. So there's your main guy. Like a bloody Rambo thing with more appropriate. You can jump on the back of cows, which is quite funny, and get that going. The other tactic in this game is basically, or mechanic, you can pick up masks. So each mask will do something different. I'm not entirely sure what the duck mask does, but I know the wolf mask makes you run really fast, and the chicken's coming up will attack you. So we'll pick that up, and the chickens will start going mad and trying to kill me now because I've got this wolf mask on, so I can't hang around for too much. Sometimes other masks, the little chickens that are following you around occasionally, they will start firing different things. Like if you've got the Tengu mask, it does ninja stars. If you've got the Jason Voorhees mask that are chucking knives. Also the masks allow you to have one hit, which is quite nice. It's like they're like a bit of a shield basically. The other thing over the same, when you slide, you're pretty much invulnerable to bullets, and that's the tactic of getting around the bullets in this. There seems to be a lot more bullets in this game than there is in Metal Slug. So if I pick up that, I quite like this mask just because it's Voorhees basically. Ooh. So it's a very, similar idea to Metal Slug basically, but this game's a little bit more jumpy than Metal Slug. You are jumping around a lot more. With Metal Slug you don't jump around that much, but in this one you actually do. You need to jump around a lot to dodge a lot of the bullets. The one thing I will say about sometimes in this game, backgrounds and stuff, they don't look like you can jump on them, but you can. Like you could jump on the deer, but that plane in the background, but you can actually jump on that plane. See, that would have knackered me up then if he'd fired, because I didn't know you could jump on the plane even though you're in front of it. So it can be a little bit weird with backgrounds, so I suppose that's something you can get used to. So it's nice and gaudy as well. You get the same sort of ideas, tanks, you can chuck my grenades. Like you can lock your firing in a position, which is a really nice handy feature actually. So I don't know whether there's vehicles to get into. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't come across one yet. Oh, that's what it does. The Voorhees one gives you a much bigger knife, so you can kill people from a fair distance with the Voorhees one. So it's quite good with the masks, where they give you all those little different different power ups and stuff. Plus they're a shield. So yeah, like I say, really nice looking game. Really fun to play. Unfortunately, it is Neo Geo cartridge only, and good luck in getting one unless you're willing to pay silly prices. But you never know when NGJev have sold all their cartridges, because they only tend to do like 1 or 2 runs. Once they've done their runs and they got a new project up, they might end up bringing it to the Switch. And if they do, I'll be buying it straight away. Like I say, I was lucky to borrow this copy to have a go of, to show you guys. Otherwise, I wouldn't have had it because I couldn't afford to buy it. Plus, I would have had to buy it like 2-3 years ago anyway to get my copy of it. It's quite funny that they get burned by that as well. Didn't realise that. So yeah, really fun game, really good idea on Metal Slug, and it does bring something a little bit different, and it does look very nice. So that's Kraut Buster. Say one of my best games I've played this year. So let's move on to the next game. Then here's the next game. This is East 9 Monstrun Nox. Came out in Japan the end of last year, but it didn't get translated to this year, so this is why it's in the list, because it came out here this year. I love these games, and I thought East 8 was fantastic. Definitely well worth picking up at it, and you do see it on sale quite often for about 15 quid, and it's a good 40-hour game as well. This one took me about 38 hours to finish, I think. This one is, I weren't too sure about the changes in this game when I first played it, but I really got into it, and I really loved it. It's a bit more, I'm going to cancel out here because I'm in the last mission essentially. So let me go back to here. You basically get cursed as a Monstrum Nox basically as you start, and you get trapped in the city of Babadook. And then once you're basically stuck here, you can't go outside the city walls, and you basically got to try and figure out what the hell's going on, and all the powers and extra stuff you get to do. Like she got different powers. You can turn into a Nox when you do that. You play Adol Kristen like you do in all the other games. You can do the roll and stuff, and that's what I like in this game. Gameplay in the East games is amazing, especially in this game and 9 and 8. Sorry, you can basically zoom around the place everywhere. Really good fighting system as well. In this one, you can basically zoom all over the map once you get all your powers. And you get a double jump in and stuff. The battle system in these games is fantastic. The latest ones, like I'll get into a battle now. It's a full-on action battle system where you basically dodge all over the place and do specials. It just works so amazing, and it's really fast and playable. It's much better. It's the best battle system, action battle system in an adventure game I've played. It's really good. You can use your specials as basically you can tank hits when you use them, and you can get special moves in when you can dodge hits, and you're all over the place basically, and it works really well. And you can swap characters. Oops, as I get a run over. I say, so the actual city, once you start getting your powers, and you can use all your Monstrum powers to basically get all over the place. Run up walls and jump. You can get around the city really well now. The dungeons are really good, and the story's really good as well. My Xbox Elite pad, the bumper buttons did not basically live up to this game. By the time I finished this game, the bumper button is broke. The metal is broken. I need to get a replacement. But like in this mode, I got full sort of. I can get around the city anywhere I want. But yeah, you know, but he added Kristin and all the sort of the usual kind of Dogi follows you around everywhere. He's back in this one as well, and they're all playable. Like if you go into your basically there's your characters. If you go to equipment, you can flick through the different characters. The character models are really good, and you can customize them and everything. But yeah, I really enjoyed this, and if you can pick it up over Christmas on offer, and you fancy a look at it, it's definitely well worth playing. As in most East games as well, the soundtrack is pretty fantastic. That's one thing, Nihon Falcon, basically on Nihon Falcon, they make pretty amazing soundtracks. Say running this one on the PC, it does look really nice in 4K. Like I said, I've pretty much done all the missions. You do get to go outside the city now. Eventually, you get the ability to do it. It goes so far outside the city, so you're not completely trapped. It's like if I go there. Got that wicked sort of East music kicking in. I want to play All for Ghana next, the remake of East 3. As he's run at me. I say I really enjoyed this game. It's really good fun. In some ways, I love East 8. I think East 8 is probably a little bit better, to be honest. But I think the dungeon structure in this one might be a little bit better. But I just can't wait till they do 10 next. Whenever that's going to be. See, I'll change to another character. And you get all those super weapons going. Kick his ass with the supers. He's knackered down. So yeah, that's East 9 Monstrun Nox. Loved this game this year. Really good. So if you fancy it, give it a pick up. You might like it, you never know. And if you do, pick up East 8. In fact, I would say probably pick up East 8 before this. You don't really have to play the East games in order, because they do follow on, but they're all a little bit of a separate story. They're like separate games in their own right, but East 8 is brilliant. He's stuck on the island. Anyway, guys, that's Monstrun Nox. Let's move across to the next game. Right, guys, this is the next game. This is Razion EX by NG Dev Team, which came out on the Neo Geo a couple of years ago. They finally released it on the Switch. There was a physical release of this game, which you could buy, but there was problems posted to the UK, and well, they want you to buy 3 copies and scalp the rest of them, so I didn't end up buying a physical copy, which I would have really liked to have. But in the end, they released it on digital, so this is the digital version. This is sort of R-Type inspired, but it doesn't play anything like R-Type. So in this game, you've got your normal shot, which is like an auto-fire shot, and you've got a charge shot, which is the bar at the bottom. You press the button, the charge shot goes off, and basically cancels all the bullets on screen, and the enemies start dropping these cubes. These cubes then are used as your multiplier. And they will charge your bar faster as well. So when you've got these cubes on screen as well, if you use your charge shot, they turn into green cubes, and that gives you massive multiplier. Plus they do hang around on screen quite a bit as well. So basically you use all this for your multiplier to get that up, and obviously more, bigger multiplier, more points you get. And you can use all this to cancel the bullets as well. So it's a point scoring plus it's a survival thing. So later on you'll be juggling the power-ups and the cubes and your charge shot to just to survive. The music on this game is really good. I think it's done by the same guy who does the music for a lot of NG Dev stuff. Aha, cool. And as you can see, the graphics are like a rendered style graphics with lots of detail in the backgrounds. It's very nice indeed. I say I'm playing this in the recording window in OBS, so I got a bit of lag, but it was just the easiest way to do it. As you can see, you get big sprites with lots of animation and stuff, and the background's really detailed, multiple layers. And just very good detail, very good graphics all around. Really, it's a really nice game, and I've been really enjoying it. And I really need to get that 1cc. I'm not far off it. I just need to put a bit more practice into it, basically, and I'll get it done. But yeah, I've really enjoyed this one this year. I'm glad they actually released it, because I had no chance of getting the Neo Geo version, considering the price it goes for these days. As all the NG Dev stuff does, it's just ridiculously priced on the Switch, on the Neo Geo. You're probably talking over £2,000, I expected, by the Neo Geo one these days. But yeah, it's a really nice game, and if you like the look of it, pick it up definitely. I think it's $15.99 on the Switch, which is a bargain really. And if you like the look of this, pick up Gunlord as well, because that's a pretty fantastic game. Similar sort of graphic style as well, with lots of detail. Pretty much it's Turrican, but it's like a better version of Turrican than Turrican. Need to get that charge coming up now, so I want to get these. Oh, nice. First coming up to the first boss. Right, here we go. Bosses are quite big in this game as well. Big, huge, sort of multi-animated, render-looking sprites. The detail in the background is really good. Bosses are not massively hard in this game. They can be a little bit challenging, but as long as you've got a charge up, ready to go. Like the first boss, if you kill these missiles that come out, they're chucking bullets everywhere, makes life way easier for yourself. Otherwise, you've got to sit in the right position to get through them. It's not always in the same position either, so you have got to move around a little bit. I'm gonna blow that. Oh. Died just as I killed the boss. One criticism of this game is the bosses, they blow up, but they don't explode. They just sort of like float off screen, which is, they do that in a lot of their games, to be honest. But it would have been nice if there was just like a massive explosion and the boss blew up on screen. But I suppose that's their thing. Bosses just wander off screen. They seem a little bit cheap, I would say. But the game's definitely not cheap. There's a lot to it. So we need to just keep getting the greens going here. The plan to get that multiplayer up a fair amount. Get my charge shots back up as well then. So you need to. You can't just continuously charge. You do need to sort of take aim when you use it. You will need it for certain situations. Otherwise, you're just going to get trapped with bullets. See how far we can get in this life. So really nice details on the water as well. When the bullets pass through the water, you get like a bit of a water splash, which is very nice. And you got like the crystal looking backgrounds and stuff. Really nice game, man. I really enjoyed this one, yeah. I'd say definitely I got more play to do on it. That's very much like R-Type 2, this, isn't it? We obviously borrowed ideas from that, which is fine. The bullets come up from the bottom and the top end, but I didn't want to continue. But anyway, guys, that's Razion EX. Definitely well worth picking up. I've really enjoyed this one this year, so let's move on to the next game. Hello guys, how's it going? Well, this is Saketsa. It's a free indie shmup that came out this year, and the game is amazing. Well worth picking up if you've got a PC. They do have a few other games which are good as well, especially a game called Razon EX, which is also amazing. It's like Thunder Force, but they've had loads of different ideas. This is like Star Fox, and not Star Fox, but Star Force, and they've mixed in bits from Aleste and various other games. They've borrowed stuff from all sorts of games, but this game is fantastic. You get Vocaloid, which is pretty much singing in the background. So basically, you get a basic shot weapon, and you can pick up a sub weapon. And depending on the sub weapons, your main shot can get more powerful as well by picking up the DI guns. But there's your sub weapon there. So depending on the number you want, so I'll go for number 3, and that's giving me a spinning one. So the missile one I find is pretty much the best sub weapon. So you can use these sub weapons all the time, basically. And you basically go through the game, fight bosses. It's got really good music. You really start tapping your sort of your feet to this music as you're playing it, and it gives a really sort of frantic feel as well. Graphics, I really like the graphics on this. Really pixely, old school style of graphics, and they know they are, but it's done in such a sort of a modern way. It's such a good game, this is. So as you can see, the power-ups are changing number. If you let go of fire, the number stays on it. I'll pick up number 5, and this is it. This is like a homing weapon. This is the best weapon on it. The best sub weapon, anyway. So basically, all you want is this sub weapon and your main weapon, and you're pretty much sorted in this game. There's loads of scoring opportunities as well. You'll keep running this game just to find extra score. But what we'll do, we'll pick another weapon. I'll pick number 1. It gives me like a big laser blast. And the sub weapons themselves can be powered up as well. I think they can be powered up 3 levels. And does come to your advantage later on when you start fighting big bosses and stuff. Also through the levels, these little tiles you can shoot like that will give you little bonus points. Each level has got loads of them all over the place, and to get the high score you need to find the little bonus tiles and get them shot. As you can see, this game is quite frantic. There's quite a lot going on. It allows you to pick levels as well later on, so let's go for number 2. I'll show you number 2. Oh, actually, go for number 2. Here we go. Now we've got like a shield in front of me, which I can use to take out bullets. I can also use to kill enemies. So yeah, each of the sub weapons are a little bit different, but I find the homing weapon is the one you want. All these extra tiles. So as you're playing through this and it's getting more and more mental, you need to try and find those little Z tiles, just for that extra bonuses, just to get a big high score then on the end. I've got to admit, with this game, for something that was given away free, I would pay for this. It's really, really good game. Let's go for number 4. Number 4, good. This weapon's quite good. Number 4, it fires like a 5-in up, and when it hits, it sort of bursts in bullets down and kills anything in front of it. Can be quite handy. This is like a Star Force boss, but yeah. Especially where they're closing in like that. Each of their games are based on sort of different things. It's worth checking out his games because they're all free basically, and they're all fantastic. Like I say, especially this and we got Vastanex. Amazing games, both of them are. I should have put Vastanex on a list really, but it came out 2 years ago, but I only got to play it this year. And that's the first boss. There's 5 levels to go through. My main weapon's powered up really nice now. So I'll show you a little bit of the second level. There's some good scores online for this as well. There's my top score at the moment up there. But there's some amazing big scores on it if you look. Let's go back to weapon 0. Weapon 0 is the weapon you can turn like in oh my god, like in the Last, which could be quite handy as well. As you can see, it also wipes out bullets once it gets higher up in power as well, just like Aleste. This game is really good fun. This is one of the better shoot 'em ups I played this year actually, and it's free. How crazy is that? Who would have thought I would have put a free game in my Game of the Year list? So, what I would say about this is, if you've got a PC and you love shmups, my god, just go and get this game. It doesn't cost anything. Just search for it on Google and you'll find the website to download it. And then you'll also see Vastanex and pick up that as well, because that's amazing as well. Especially if you love the Thunder Force games, it's really, really good. Brilliant game this is. Well worth picking up. Right then, let's move on to the next game. Right then, hello guys. Basically, we got another game now. We've got Cotton Rock and Roll. There's been quite a few Cotton games this year. You had the original arcade release, which got an upgrade on the X68000, and then they've done a new version of that called Cotton Reboot, which is very good. You've got a couple of console releases, and now you've got the brand new Cotton at the end of the year, which is Cotton Rock and Roll. This is a new entry into the series, so let's start it up. Right, so you've got a couple of different characters in this. You've got the original Cotton. I'm not sure of these character names. I don't know who she is. I'm not sure what game she's from, but I think that one's to represent Siberia, and that's Yuma Harakawasi, which is from a SNES platform puzzle game. She uses a fishing rod, which you can use in here as well. And I can't remember her name. But literally, they're all got slightly different mechanics and slightly different firing. So, we'll start this up. As in all the Cotton games, you've got the crystals. The yellow crystals give you XP, which makes your weapons better. You get little intros in between the levels as well. The blue crystals give you like a lightning special, plus they also give you like a blue firing, which I'm not sure what the blue firing does. Also, you start off in an A level, but once you've done the A level, a lot of levels will open up through the game, and you can pick which route you want to play through it. And I think you've got to play through 9 levels to complete it. So back to the crystals. The green crystal gives you like a homing firing, and then you get like a whirlwind weapon, which is pretty much the best weapon on you. And the red crystal will give you a red fire and like a fire weapon. You basically just hold down for about a second, and then you can fire a weapon off. The more enemies, the more bullets on screen, the more the bonuses you get from firing your crystal weapons off. So the idea is to get a lot of bullets on screen and a lot of enemies to get more points. So I'll show you how that works now. So I'll charge, and I'll go, and then you'll get loads of points per year then. That weapon I find is definitely the best one. You can really hog the points of that weapon. So you'll be constantly changing crystals. The yellow crystals will give you XP. Like I'm on level 3 now, and that'll basically, my weapons will literally get better. There is a little thing in this. You see that little sweet flying around that character? You can unlock it off it, but I'm not quite sure how to do it. And some of the bosses have got like an alternative form as well, and you get like a sweet sort of weapon off them, and you can get that off them for extra points as well. So hopefully we'll show you that. The way to score in this game is the amount of enemies and bullets on screen, and you use the weapon to convert them into points. More on screen, the more sort of bell points you get, and that's pretty much how it works. That's the lightning weapon. You can use these weapons a lot because you get a lot of the crystals basically. You can do a load of bullets. So you can convert all the bullets into points as well. The bosses look really nice in this. I think the graphics in this game are really nice. I think it's definitely the best graphics in the Cotton game. Well, you may argue the 2D ones are better, I suppose, but I think the 3D graphics in this, I'd say best with the 3D anyway. The 3D graphics in this are very nicely done. Big sprites, they're quite comical as well, and they even though they're big and chunky, there's a lot of detail to them. And it's just done really nice. I think this game is really good. It plays fantastic as well, and with the different characters. Oh, here we go, boss change. So that's like the alternative form. You can use this to hog points and get the sweet off it. I've done it, happy days. And there's the sweet. Coolio. And then you get the tea time like the other games, but if you're on a flat surface like this, the teacups will bounce up and down. But if you're over water, they just drop down and disappear, so you've got to be quick. That's the first stage. I think this game is really good. I think this is better than the actual remake of the original Cotton game. She's still obsessed by sweets, as you can see. So now you basically get to pick whatever level you want. They're all different difficulties, and there will be one or two more that will unlock as well. So let's go to that level. We'll have a quick go this level, and then we'll swap to another game. I said the graphics are really colourful and really nice. I do like this this new Cotton game very much. I think it's very good. It seems like there's a lot going on at first, but you will get used to it. The more bullets on screen, the better. I say that whirlwind attack is definitely the best. I think the green firing is definitely the best as well. Right, this thing flying up here will kill you pretty fast if you don't get it right. I'm going to use the whirlwind. Also, sometimes you get the little cotton characters will drop out the bosses and mid-bosses as well. So now I've got the little witches following me, well, little fairies I suppose following me around. Yeah, so as you can see, this is a really nice game indeed with some lovely graphics. And there's lots of collecting and stuff to do. It's got one boss is a giant electric snail, which is a really cool looking boss, I gotta admit. But yeah, very nice game indeed, and definitely, if you like shmups and you like the Cotton games, definitely pick this up. Definitely will. It's coming out on, it's out pretty much on Switch and PS4. So definitely pick it up. Anyway guys, that's Cotton Rock and Roll. Let's move on to the next game. Hello guys, how's it going? Right, this is the last game in my part 1. My best games I've played this year. So, pretty much this is Senjin Aleste, which is the brand new Aleste arcade game by M2. Unfortunately, we're probably never ever going to see this in any of the arcades outside of Japan, essentially, so you're never going to see it here. Don't ask me where I got this from, you need to look it up for yourself. See, this is a brand new game in the Aleste series. I will say that it doesn't really feel like an Aleste game, but it doesn't really feel like anything else. It does have ideas from cave games and a few other things, but it doesn't feel like a cave game either. It's pretty much its own unique thing. Right then, as you can see, you've got the 4 characters down the side. You get 4 characters from the start. You can do a little bit of configuration, like your button setup, which is quite a nice little feature actually, from the start. You get the 4 characters from the start in this game, and once a character dies, you get a bar which fills back up, and if you leave it long enough to fill back up, you get your character back. So essentially you've got 4 lives, but if you can survive, you can get even more lives on top. Difficulties, which is pretty much novice, casual is normal, and then hard and expert. Leave the dramatic mode on. Skip that. That's like a weapons test mode. The assist is basically the hypers. It'll auto hyper if you get hit if you've got a full hyper. These are the 4 characters, which is really cool artwork on them. You've got to pick a leader character, so I'm going to pick her because I like her weapons. The graphics in this game are very nice indeed. It's got some beautiful 2D artwork, and animation, and backgrounds, and overlays, and various other things. It's very nicely done indeed. Really sort of M2 quality, I would say. So, this character is character D. She's got these spinning weapons, which pretty much take out bullets, and you can hold down the button and lock them in position, which can be handy sometimes if you get them to lock in the front and plant them on sort of middle of a boss. As you can see, there's lots of animation in the background, and a lot of the enemies are firing Aleste type weapons, and there's an Aleste enemies, and you've got the P icons you pick up as well. You can change character. An icon will float down screen with A, B, or C, and D, and depending on which one you pick up, it'll change to that character. You do have a blowback attack, like that, which blows the bullets away from you like a katana, and it charges back up. I'll do it again here now. It charges back up, and you can do it again. You've got to dodge them when they come back. I shall pick up that. So now I've got the A character, which is a bit more like a cave game character. You get a slower mode when you hold it down and a faster mode when you let go of fire. And the hyper attack, or hyper now, when you're in hyper mode you get that shield around you. But once you're pretty much invincible, but once you've taken so many hits on that shield, one hit will knock you out of the hyper mode. So the longer you stay in it, the bigger points and stuff you get. There's no smart bombs as such in this game, but you get a smart bomb icon which I just picked up then. It floats down the screen and floats up the screen. You can leave it on screen for quite a long time to tactically sort of pick it up when you want to use a smart bomb. It's a bit of a different way of doing it, but you can't smart bomb yourself. So I've got a full assist going on. Well, a full hyper ready. So this is the first boss. The bosses do have a sort of like a genetic thing to them. They've got like an alien inside them. So I'm going to hyper for you. Just get those extra hits. You've got to watch though. Once I take a few hits on that shield, you've got to dodge then to try and stay in this hyper mode for the best points possible. So there's the first character down. So now I've got character A, and as you see the bar is filling back up on the D character. I'm going to pick up the B character, who's got the lasers, which you can lock in any position, or just leave them open, whichever way you want to do it. You can leave them open and spin them around. So there's the alien and the boss. As you see now, my D character is half powered back up. When she gets fully powered back up now, she'll come back to life. So essentially you've got 4 lives, but you can make it multiple lives if you can last it. There's 8 levels. I'm pretty sure there's 8 levels to this. I haven't quite managed to 1cc it yet. I got pretty close. I haven't managed to do it as yet. That's the first boss done. Say for those of you who are a little bit put off that it's not like a traditional LS game, I would say if you get a chance, try it, because don't be put off, because it's quite a unique game and it's its own thing really. Even though it does borrow ideas from cave games and Aleste games and everything, it is its own game. The one thing I will say about it is the soundtrack to this game is average, probably at best. It's not fantastic. It's not the worst soundtrack in the world, but it's certainly not the best soundtrack. It could have been a little bit better. There are a few nice tunes on here, but the tunes are not as nice as GGLS3. Definitely not as nice as that. So anyway guys, this is Senjin Aleste on the arcade. Like I said, you know, you need to go looking if you want to play it yourself, but other than that, let's hope M2 do a home port of it. They haven't talked whatsoever about doing a home port, but I suspect that they will at some point. So hopefully they will, but when they do the home port, I'll be buying the day one, because this is really good. And they'll add loads of extra stuff to it anyway. So anyway, Senjin Aleste, it's the last game in the part 1. So we'll leave it there and we'll go on to part 2. I shall see you then. Bye now.